Generally yields back. I'll now go to Indiana's Dr. Bucshon for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know what to say. It's like we're in two different universes. Look, I support an all-the-above energy strategy. I think we should pursue everything, honestly. I really do. I also support Ukraine funding, as the vast majority of Republicans do. We also support, though, securing our southern border and preventing people from 160 different countries, including known terrorists, from coming across the southern border. And until this administration tries to address that, and we can get our colleagues on the other side of the aisle to realize that, we're going to be at a crossroads here. So it's a false narrative we don't support Ukraine. We do. Right. We also support the people that we represent. It's a representative republic, and the people are telling me that they want to do both. Look, an indefinite pause is a ban. Make no mistake about it. And it's going to be lifted. It's going to be lifted in November of this year, after November 5th, or honestly on January 20th in 2025. This is about politics, and everybody in this room knows it. Thanks to American innovation in energy technologies, the United States is the world's largest producer of natural gas and exporter of LNG. A lot of this has been said. All the good questions have been asked, unfortunately. American LNG is a critical asset that not only keeps our energy sector secure and competitive, but also helps reduce global emissions, as has been described, and the global dependence on energy, and it's our dependence on global energy from adversarial nations, Russia. I've been in Japan recently. I've been in Poland recently in the last year. All you have to do is talk to people offline when you're not at some conference, sitting at the table, and just stand on the side and talk to people. And you want to talk about uncertainty amongst our allies? They are in a full-blown panic over this type of energy reaction in the United States for politics. I mean, that's not my opinion. I just hear that from those folks. U.S. energy sources are some of the cleanest in the world. We take the cleanest natural gas in the world out of the global market. I mean, trying to twist this around and in some way say that natural gas is dirtier than coal from China. I'm talking about coal from China and the way they produce it is just, I can't understand how that could happen. I mean, geopolitically, this decision by the White House is just foolish, economically also. So for Mr. Rice and Mr. McGowan, again, I know you've said this, but I mean, are our allies around the world going to turn to Russia, China, and Iran for natural gas if we don't produce it? And Qatar?
Congressman, it's important to realize that 2/3 of the world's natural gas is contained in 4 countries: Qatar, Iran, Russia, and the United States. So who's going to provide the energy security to the world? If the United States doesn't do it, should not be Russia, should not be Iran. Qatar, a little bit small. It has to be the United States to provide this energy security to the world.
Yes,
Talk about the geopolitics also on this.
Sure. I was just going to mention
A lot of that.
We have letters from the Chamber, from Business Europe that have gone to the administration, from the Asian Natural Gas and Energy Association, from Japan, from others, from Eurogas. They're all aghast, literally, with what's going on. Yeah. It is a problem, and from the geopolitical implications, and by the way, it's not just coal, right? It's fuel oil, it's wood, it's other things that are being burned that are equally as worse, and Europe does burn all those things. But from a geopolitical standpoint, yes, there are only a few countries that do this, but they're going to go to the Qataris. They're going to go to others because for their energy security, they require regulatory certainty and stability as well.
Let me just say this: when we were I was in Eastern Europe about a year ago. Do you realize that the Russian propaganda in those countries is at a fever pitch, probably Cold War era or more? What are they saying? Your government is causing you higher energy costs because they refuse to buy our natural gas that is cheaper than American natural gas. And guess what's happening? There are protests in those countries from people who live in those countries who happen to be communists. And they remember when the countries were Eastern Bloc, and their governments are under tremendous pressure to open up the spigot from Russia into their countries. If America backs away, they will be forced to do it. And guess what? It fuels Putin's war machine. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.